It's time to set the record straight because we're not on the verge of a housing crash, as you might read in the doom and gloom news radio or wherever you listen to. But the bubble is undeniably showing signs of some strength. So as the real estate market evolves, it's becoming increasingly clear that while a full-blown collapse like you saw in 2008 isn't imminent, it's not here. But there are critical indicators, and that's what we're going to go over today. These indicators suggest the bubble is starting to crack. And in this video, I'm going to explore these crucial warning signs and what they mean for your investments and your future plans. Now, understanding these subtle shifts is, I think, very essential for staying ahead in a changing market. That's why I decided to do this video today. So don't wait till it's too late. So tune in here and gain some insights that could make all the difference in your real estate strategy. So right now, I'm going to take this hot topic that we've been talking about, the housing market, where there's a stagnant, there's sellers can't sell and buyers can't buy. But, over the last 4 years, we've seen home prices soar like never before. Just last month, the median price reached a staggering $434,000. But as Newton says, what comes up must come down. And if you're thinking this boom will last forever, it's kind of time to think again. So the housing market has definitely cooled off since the crazy days of the pandemic. Philly and the burbs were still doing pretty well, but in some areas of the country, I heard that things are coming down. But it's not just the interest rates that we need to talk about here. There are other warning signs that I'm going to discuss today. And trust me, you don't want to miss this. So are we in a housing crash right now? Absolutely not. But are there signs of the cracks, that could be going on in a housing bubble that could happen? Yes, and that's what we're going to do. Take a little closer look at these things. So let's talk about property taxes. I think it's a major red flag. I just looked at my tax bill. I'm like, what is going on here? But I'm going to show you this map. It highlights where property taxes have surged dramatically. So if your home value has shot up by 50% over the past 4 years, it's no surprise your property taxes would rise as well. But why would that mean that your township or borough would need that much more money to keep supplying with you with all the services? I just don't get it. But what's alarming is in some region, the assessed values have skyrocketed. I mean, even more, by like 400, 650%. They're saying out there that these assessments are just out of touch with the actual market values, and I believe that's true. And I have this data that I got from ATTOM Data Solutions. The property taxes on the single-family homes, they jumped 7% across the United States in 2022, totaling a whopping $363 billion. And the trend, it hasn't slowed down. So let's go back to this map, okay? It's showing that all the different tax increases, right? So the darkest orange areas have experienced a 13% rise, while the darkest blue areas have seen, about 3.18% increase. But on average, the tax on single-family homes in the United States climbed 4.1% in 2023 to $4,620 per year. Now this is, I believe, the first nationwide increase in the effective tax rate since 2017. I'm seeing this trend talking to my realtors, I know, my mastermind group all over the country, and it's not just local. States like Florida, I've got great agents in Florida and Texas, California. People are really feeling the pinch. Many homeowners rely on predictable payments for their mortgages. They're on fixed income. But when escrows jump by hundreds of dollars, it's a heavy blow to your budget, right? Imagine if you lose a job or face medical issues. Suddenly you're under immense financial strain. So not only are you facing higher payments, but there's a shortfall in your escrow account. And I heard a lot of people are getting that this year coming up. Then you have to cough up that extra money up front. And if you don't escrow your taxes like I do, I don't escrow my taxes, you get this hefty bill in the mail. It can be kind of a real shock. You weren't expecting it. Well, picture this. You're paying $2,000 a year and suddenly it skyrockets to $6,000. That's a big increase. And many people simply don't have that kind of money on hand, right? So property taxes are just one of the major red flags for current housing market. And for many, especially the middle and low income families, this could force them to sell their homes because they simply can't keep up with the mortgage payments. Okay. So another major flag that I see is the rising number of foreclosures. I have this chart for you to see. It's from Statista. And for years, foreclosure rates were on a steady decline until the pandemic hit. And during the time, the government intervened, right? They froze many mortgage payments and they pushed them to the end of the loan term. And it seemed like a lifetime for many homeowners. But now, those foreclosure numbers are creeping back up, getting back to reality. The increased inflation and gas prices and prices of food and everything out there, okay? So while the chart we have only covers up to 2023 and shows a slight increase, it's crucial to recognize that this is just a lagging indicator. We need to look at more current data to truly grasp the situation. The trends we're seeing now are alarming. Now, I'm not saying that TikTok is the most reliable source of things today, but I follow a real estate appraiser on TikTok, and it's Paul and Mima, Ants Inc., I believe it is, who has recently shared a concerning update. He's been inundated with visits to foreclosure homes on a daily basis. So this is what happened that I witnessed back in 2006 when bank appraisers were frequently photographing, they were going out and taking pictures of houses in Florida. So many foreclosures in Florida. It was a clear sign of a looming foreclosure crisis at that time, okay? The pattern is similar today, starting up again. So if you're a real estate appraiser or someone in the industry, are you noticing an uptick in banks reaching out for pre-foreclosure processes? Because many people are struggling to meet everyday expenses, especially what's going on with our government right now, spending trillions of dollars. That's another topic for later on. But it's been increasingly clear that the financial pressure that people are having is mounting. So I predict that we'll see more and more homes entering foreclosure in the near future. While this doesn't necessarily mean we're headed for a full-blown housing crash, it's a warning sign that we must pay attention to, as the impact of rising foreclosures could have far-reaching consequences for the housing market, right? And it's really, you need to stay informed and prepared. Only time will tell how this will unfold, but the current trends are definitely raising some serious concerns. Next, let's talk about the issue of problem banks. A critical concern that's raising some red flags. I've been reading about this in the financial world, looked at Yahoo Finance. Not all the time do I use that as a source, but someone brought that to my attention. And the current landscape reveals a troubling trend that higher interest rates have led to the emergence of 63 problem banks and burdened with a staggering $517 billion in unrealized losses. You know, this is back in 2008, financial crisis, where the banks that were too big to fail, failed. So these unrealized losses are primarily a result of soaring interest rates, which have significantly depreciated the value of fixed income securities held by these banks. In fact, the number of problem banks has jumped to 11 from the previous quarter alone, highlighting a growing strain with the banking sector. Definitely have to keep an eye on this. But the big question now is whether we will see an escalation in banks struggling with their mortgage-backed securities. And you know, if this situation continues to deteriorate, we could be on the brink of another financial crisis that necessitates a government bailout, which we don't want. Get them involved with our lives, just stay out of it, you know? But it's a scenario that's all too familiar and worth serious contemplation. So as we examine the issues, it's critical to consider the potential ripple effects of the broader economy. We need stability in our financial institutions. It's a pivotal role they play in maintaining overall economic health. Any signs of trouble with the banking sector could have far-reaching consequences. So really stay informed and vigilant in this area, because the problems are significant and you need to understand them. And it'll be key for preparing for any potential fallout. Next, I want to take a closer look, at a trend that should have us all on high alert, is the return of risky loans. I can't believe they're back. Remember the no interest or the interest only or the 0% mortgages from the past that played a role in the housing crash? Well, they're back and the stakes are just as high. A company, United Wholesale Mortgage, they launched this great program for first-time home buyers, 0% down. It allows buyers to finance 97% of the home's value and then the 3% with a second mortgage. But the catch is that the second mortgage needs to be repaid down the road in full as a balloon payment. It's a high-risk strategy, and it's not good. I would not. There's so many other programs you can get that don't require this, and I have a lender who's great, and I can refer you to her, who can tell you exactly what you could do to avoid that. So not only is that you have to be a first-time buyer for this program, you also can't earn more than 80% of the area's median income. So it might look good on the surface, but for those who might otherwise struggle to come up with the normal down payment. But if you dig a little deeper now, if home prices experience a downturn, then buyers could find themselves in a negative equity. And that happened back in 2008, which means that they owe more money than what the home is then worth. And that could be a devastating scenario. So especially if you're not able to make that balloon payment, at the end. So foreclosure looms large if homeowners can't manage the payments, right? So this is a precarious situation for everyone involved. It might be tempting, but it comes with some risk. So really watch if you're thinking about that type of a loan, and stay informed about the different loans that you could be doing and more of the long-term implications of these zero-down products and these risky loans. So if you're learning something new today, please smash the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to reach 600 subscribers by the end of August. It's now have 500 beginning of August, so please help me out, help a girl out here. I really appreciate it. Next, let's look at insurance issues. Boy, has that been a big topic, right? It's impacted homeowners all across the whole entire nation. And it shouldn't be taken lightly, especially if given its potential to affect your financial stability and the broader housing market. So what's happening is insurance companies, they've fallen short in accurately assessing the risks. And the consequences are they're being put on the shoulders of homeowners by increasing their rates by astronomical numbers, so they can't afford it. So picture this, you can't afford your insurance and your home is now not protected. And some kind of disaster strikes, a fire, flood, or severe weather event. And without insurance, you're left exposed and vulnerable with no financial safety net to protect your property or your assets. So without proper insurance, you as a homeowner will risk everything that you invested into your property. And it could lead to a cascade of financial difficulties. So many homeowners are facing the burden of unmanageable insurance costs, and they're forced to sell their homes to avoid financial strain. And many of these problems are happening in the states where they're having big hurricanes, like Florida, those type of states where they're just doubling and you can't even get insurance on some of these properties. And sometimes it makes the home not saleable, because if in order to get the insurance, then the buyer has to then decrease the price of the house substantially just so they can afford to live there and get a mortgage, because you have to have homeowner's insurance if you have a mortgage, right? So for those people who can't keep up with the rising insurance premiums, the pressure to sell becomes more intense and people are forced out of their homes under duress. And the increased supply could end up driving prices down. Now, this is a longer term thing, not happening right now, but I've seen a little bit happening in Florida. So it's really important that you manage your insurance risks and just don't ignore it. Know what's going on with your home insurance, shop around, maybe even find an insurance company. Like in Pennsylvania here we have Erie Insurance. They only deal with the catastrophes that happen in Pennsylvania, so we don't get affected by what's going on in Florida. Look up and see if your state has a statewide insurance company that doesn't handle the other states, okay? It's very important. Next and lastly, it's economic factors, right? It's critical. It's right now affecting countless households. It's not just about the numbers, it's about how the numbers are squeezing families and impacting their financial stability. First, wage stagnation. Despite the rising cost of living, many people are finding their salaries have barely budged and haven't kept up with the cost of living. So even as prices for essential goods and services climb, wages remain flat, leaving families struggling to make ends meet. And combine this with skyrocketing food costs, gas, everything else, and ever-increasing expense for medical care. These aren't just small changes. They're significant ongoing increases that erode household budgets. I think this is one of the main things that's happening right now. And the rising costs mean you have to cut back on other necessities, adding strain and uncertainty to people's financial situation. I'm happening right now to one of my clients, and they're older and they live in Florida. I just moved them down there and their insurance just went up, and all these things going on increased everything that they can't afford to live there. And then you'll have the job market, which is another layer of complexity. If you experience a significant downturn in employment rates, the ripple effects could be substantial. People lose their jobs, reduced job security means fewer people can afford the mortgage payments, and then you have foreclosures and everything else just ripples, right? It puts a lot of pressure on the housing market. I made a commitment to you, on my clients and my YouTubers 4 years ago. I wouldn't bring up the possibility of a housing crash unless there was concrete evidence to discuss. Well, here we are. I'm seeking undeniable signs of cracks, not much, in the housing bubble, things you should look out for. And if they all happen at the same time, it could be just devastating. Because the economic pressures, I think, are building up, and the question is no longer just hypothetical what's happening right now. But I'm eager to hear from you. What do you think? Are these signs pointing towards a looming housing recession in your area? Share your thoughts and experiences and insights are invaluable as we go through these uncertain times together. And don't forget, subscribe. I need 600 by the end of August. will you be one of those 600? So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video, but check out this video I did about the best paint color. I've got tons of views on that and lots of comments. Love to hear your comments on that one. Have a good one.